that, and
but it smelled.
Right?
Yeah, these are iOS developers we're talking about.
And we were very health conscious, right? So we had a couple standing desks and a treadmill desk, and if you felt like standing that for a few hours,
desk. Yeah, so let's have somebody sweat in the office.
But all of a sudden, it's like, you know what? You can't sit down. There's nowhere else to sit, so you're going to have to stay at the standing desk. And
so you were a fan of co-working.
Yeah, it was.
No, we're not dropping you a hint. Just the treadmill desk is the only one we have left available. That's it.
There really is no other place. It's a kitchen sink, I guess you could. And so we moved around the corner, so on Woodward now, down the street, and we've got 2 floors, 5th and 6th floor of the old Lane Bryant building. Actually, it's been empty for 35 years, I think. And we're there. We're the only tenants right now, and it's after being packed into that massive humanity. I mean, the Madison building.
You got breathing room.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, now you can launch a bowling ball down the.
We have.
I won't make any Lane Bryant jokes.
We have 2. There is a
Thank
sign.
you.
No, there's a sign.
It's actually kind of ironic that you moved into the Lane Bryant building.
We got a lot of room. Go figure.
And where's the bell?
There is an old Lane Bryant poster from 30 minus 2013, whatever that is, 1850. And the sign
Harry the 2, Schwab, 1700. Who knows?
Sigma, and then N equals 0. And the sign, it's for chubby girls, this is the great place. And you're like, what's on that?
Well, that's why.
What is on the side of the building?
I never understood who shops at a place called Dress Barn.
What do you get? Did you get a free set of 10 steaks or what?
I'm like, how do you walk into a place called Dress Barn with any self-respect?
Don't have a lot of confidence. This might be the place for me.
At that point, you just given up.
Yeah, whatever you got. I don't care.
Old Navy. I mean, come on, the names are all bad.
So you've taken over 2 floors. And I saw, I have not been there, but I saw the photos, and that's. It seems like it's very open. Yep. Did you have to do a lot of reno, or did you just kind of move in as it was, and you're moving as you go?
Yeah, the place hadn't had any occupants for 35 years, and the ones that moved out had not cleaned up. So,
now is that counting or not counting all the homeless people that were there?
Our building was actually locked up nice. It's the Hart building behind us.
All the old dresses are curtains now.
But it was
that was what's beautiful. Like when you and I were talking before, you had said that you had partnered with an architectural firm that you got to pick and choose the style that you wanted.
Great designer,
you had
great architecture firm, but they worked really well with us, and they had done 4 or 5 designs before we actually got to the one we wanted. It's very open. There's no offices. It's all, but there's a lot of different zones in the building. Because you need places where you can be around other people, and it's sort of noisy, and there's a lot of energy. And you need places where you can go and get away from people.
Right.
Because
you have to have a conference room, right? The conference room.
Rooms
right.
or quiet zones or areas where there's no one else to bother you. So we designed it up.
The white zone is for loading and unloading of passengers only.
Exactly.
It's like the Maxwell Smart cone of silence.
Right.
Yep. Well, exactly. I mean, and there's no one area and no one space design works for everyone all the time.
Right. Sure.
So we tried to create multiples. So there's no offices, but there's a lot of conference room spaces and team spaces. We've got a hole that we cut in the floor because that seemed like a good idea to do a
Tell me you put a bat pole in there.
And we really wanted to, but our landlord said it's illegal. So I think we're going to put maybe a hanger.
No, they said
zip line.
They had the firehouse at the Charlie LaDuff Bourdain special, and they made the firehouse take out the fire pole. It's like, that's blasphemous.
Yes, it is.
What?
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's in a firehouse.
They had a 3-story fire pole, which I would love to have in my house, by the way, except
to go with the giant benches that can't fit anywhere in your house.
No, I got room. I made room.
Sounds like broken legs waiting to happen.
Pretty much, yeah. So how many folks do you have working for you now?
Got about 40. I think we got
really?
38, 39.
And just hired 3 people.
Just hired 3 people. And we've gotten big enough that today I did a meeting of, hey, welcome to Detroit Labs. Here's our history.
I saw your tweet on there hey, what do I tell new employees?
Never had to do that before because everyone's sort of been in earshot.
It was all organic.
Yeah. Well, and I realized 6 months ago I probably should have started doing that because people were like, hey,
I guess we should have a plan for this.
Yeah, one of our folks that had started a few months ago, she's like, oh, this was really nice because I didn't know we had a water machine for 3 weeks. I'm sorry.
The welcome package should just be, hey, welcome to Detroit Labs. Chicken shawarma is 2 blocks that way.
Exactly, right.
Al's over here, and Steve's if you're not going with anyone else.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
So you guys must be doing ass over cartwheels as far as business. It started in 2011. You got 18 people. Now you're at 40 people.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
We're doing well on business side. We're selling projects. It's a lot of relationship and it's a lot of reputation. We tell everyone freely we're the most expensive game in town. If someone comes to us and they ask for a proposal and they want that, our prices are more than what anyone else gives them. And
you get what you pay for, right?
What we produce and build over there is more than what anyone else is building.
So are most of your clients local then, or are they?
A lot of them started out as local contacts, but we've got what's crappy about the business is I can't announce things until it hits the app store.
Right.
So right now we're working on 3 huge projects, and none of them are local. But there's roots locally that we were able to, talk to, get introduced to, and then work with companies that are outside of Michigan.
Are you noticing a trend between the two competing platforms then, as far as your clientele base?
Between iOS and Android?
Right.
The trend that we see is everyone wants the same. Everyone wants them both.
Gotcha. At the same time.
At the same time, which is fine. And that's what we do. We build iOS, we build Android at the same time. And usually they're 2 weeks off. We get 2 weeks on Android, a little bit more because the iOS Apple Store has a 2 week
approval process,
2 week approval that we usually bake in. But yeah, they're always the same development, same time. And what we've been able to do, which is nice, is we have folks that develop in both platforms, but the platforms are so different that it's a whole different skill set.
Do you have the office you said you have the 5th and 6th floors is like iOS 5, Android 6,
the Jets and Sharks. It's a very West Side Story thing going on.
Well, it harkens back to the whole Steve Jobs days of the early Apple, where you had the Apple II and the Macintosh group, and he would battle against one another. Yeah.
No, happily no.
Both sides, everyone gets along.
Well, no, both sides they fight. Both sides think they have the right side.
Right, exactly.
But both realize and recognize also, you have to, that both sides have good things, both sides have really crappy things, and you deal with that.
Well, how do you prevent Detroit Labs from being like the next Root level, right, where you blow up huge, you're the biggest game in town, which sounds like from the mobile app side that you are, and then all of a sudden one fell swoop, it's a ghost town.
We may be the biggest specific or specialized mobile app business in town.
Sure,
that might be true. Like CompuWare does tons and tons of mobile.
Yeah, that's a different animal,
but it's a whole different. I'm not hiring mobile developers, right? I'm not hiring folks that know how to do mobile development. I like to say I've hired out of that 40, I've hired maybe 4 or 5 mobile developers.
Okay.
And what I hire are people that are amazingly good at delivering something. Delivering software is preferred, but maybe
you train them along the way then.
And within the way we work and operate in our culture, if they're amazing developers, which is what I look for first, and they have this history of shipping software in different places, which is what is really important to me, they can learn the technology-specific pieces for mobile development. And so we're bringing those folks in. So I have a team that I don't expect to be doing mobile development at Detroit Labs forever because, like everything, it's going to commoditize out. We're not going to be the most expensive because there's going to be plenty of places in 5 years, 6 years.
I think not pigeonholing your business model is like the key to this thing,
so
right?
We build
whatever the next big thing is. Yeah, absolutely. You jump on that and then diversify. And
if BlackBerry blows up, we're there, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's going to add rim jobs then.
Hey, you'll see the cranes.
So somebody comes to you for like app dev. So is it strictly just iOS, Android? Are you starting to dip your toe into the whole HTML5? Or I want my site to be responsive and available on app platforms?
Not really. There's a lot of places. There's a lot of places for that to get done. We don't say no to that work, but we're an app development shop, and we like the things that are around app development. Sometimes when you're doing a full app, if you're implementing an app strategy, that includes iOS, that includes Android, that includes a responsive website.
Right.
So we would do those kinds of projects happily. If someone came to us and said, oh, you know what, we really want to do this app and we have this idea, and we said, oh, you know what, this would work as a responsive website and you'd save money, it'd be faster, this or that. What I found 100% of the time is that the client says, no, I don't want to do that because I don't want to trade off.
Right.
Which sometimes I'm frustrated because I'm a tech guy and I see the right tech solution out there. And I could save you 50% of your budget, man. And we could launch in like 6 weeks.
And then just give me 20% of that. Right.
Value-based pricing.
Yeah, we get our clients get us out of that business just the same as they get us out of the business of PhoneGap or other kinds of
because
we're not doing internal work. We're doing a lot of branded work. And so even when we look and we say, this would be a great candidate for something like PhoneGap or something like a cross-platform app that's not going to give you the best creative and the best responsiveness, but look, you're not doing something that needs it. The client doesn't want that either. So we really are iOS native, Android native, a little bit of responsive web, but a lot of web services stuff.
Gotcha.
Because that's what our clients are asking us to do.
So, in that, one of the things, one of the apps that was featured, on your site that I saw was Domino's. So I know from conversations that I've had with those guys for years now, their biggest issue is, everybody has, peaks and valleys.
Yep.
And so everybody deals with, traffic at different points in time during the day. One of Domino's biggest challenges with whether it was their cloud platform, everything that they were doing was their peak demand is once all around the country, and it was Super Bowl, and that was the one that that was what they always kept hammering in on was that there's such a unique problem because it's not such and such happens at you're watching an event on TV. Okay, it happens at 7:00 Eastern time, 7:00 Central time, 7:00 West Coast time. No, it's unilateral all across the country at the same time.
Yep.
So how did that play into the whole mobile strategy of when you were dealing with that nonsense?
Well, and this sounds sort of trite, but it didn't. Because the mobile side really isn't where that needs to scale. Because I'm running a supercomputer in your hand,
right.
which is your mobile device. And
but it's all that back end fun.
It has to talk to
what Elaina was talking about with the
the architecture, the infrastructure, the networking. There's a lot of that stuff. The web services behind the scenes, but also just the physical reality of franchises making that many pizzas.
Right.
And being able to deliver on those pizzas. There's so much involved with that work that our piece of it we can optimize, and our piece of it is the mobile experience. That app that you're running. The back end pieces, they've spent tons and tons of time, effort, and energy to make that work, and it generally works really, really well. Especially when you consider these franchises are running different layers and levels of POS software or other office technology, and I can look, as being where we're at and supporting the software, I can look and say, that franchise was a mid-90s, that one's a 2000, that one's a 2012 because it has this, and it's crazy.
Has the order online thing caught on?
It's a fad,
but no, I'm not being funny.
No, it's
rap music, color
on.
TV.
10% of their business.
Okay,
is
online. I'm very online everything.
Yeah,
and to me, I'm not there ordering a pizza yet on my phone.
10%.
Everything else.
For the first time ever, I did the whole Five Guys thing and pre-ordered using the iPhone app for Five Guys. It worked flawlessly. I mean, that.
Not saying I worry about it. I just don't think like that yet.
Exactly. I mean, that's the. I can remember, back in 1997, hesitating hitting submit on my first Amazon order.
Right.
So I think that's where we're at with online ordering.
But who doesn't do that? Who's not like that is every college kid, where every college campus has a Domino's that delivers to that dorm, because that is their strategy.
Every hour on the hour.
Every hour on the hour. And they are not hesitating at all to order online, and they are ordering online all the time.
No, but I'm Captain Amazon. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I adopt every new technology that ever comes out. It's just that the ordering food, I just haven't gotten there yet.
Yep.
Just didn't know if it was me being, out of touch 40-year-old guy or.
And when we started, and this has grown amazingly since we even started working with them in 2000. We started working with them in 2011, one of our very first clients. And at that point, it was, we have to have a mobile app. And that was really because you have
They recognized that. That wasn't you telling them that.
They recognized that. They needed but it was, we need a mobile app to complement our website because they're getting tons of website traffic. And that in 2 short years, that has changed to this is, you can see the CEO, Patrick Doyle of Domino's, talking about how critical mobile is to their overall strategy and their selling strategy globally. And in 2 years, for them to have gone that far, it's amazing understanding of.
Well, and it sounds like reading through your site, that's another part of what you guys do is you also do some of that consulting and strategy and planning work and all that kind of stuff. Yep. So is that all part and parcel with a client engagement? Is that?
It can be. We have people in Detroit Labs that do mobile strategy, that do creative design, user experience, all the development, the testing. We can do everything. And then for individual clients, sometimes there's a client like Domino's. They're a Crispin Porter shop.
Right.
That's their agency of record. We work great with those companies. Sometimes we have a place that we do everything. The experience, the design, all the way to development and the strategy. that can be a way that we work with others as well. We've got a lot of agency experience in-house, so it's sort of a natural thing for us to figure out how to best work with folks.
So what is Detroit Labs looking for now? Like, are you looking for more, you just said you're not really looking for developers, mobile app devs.
I'm looking for developers constantly.
Okay.
I'm just not necessarily looking for someone that is billing themselves as specifically
as a mobile dev. Gotcha.
I love talking to those folks. But we more often are talking to folks that have done maybe